What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. It's been a while since I've taken a look at all of the LEGO sets in my collection. I kind of ranked through my top 10, as I feel like the last time I did this was about a year ago, and obviously I've gotten a lot of sets since then, so I thought it'd be fun to do an updated list. So we're gonna go from my favorite to my least favorite, and the number one still favorite of my LEGO collection is the UCS Millennium Falcon. Honestly, I'm not sure if this will ever change. I just have so much sentimental value put on this set, and it's just such a nice looking set. I love the display plaque and the minifigures that they include, and having it on this display case from Wicked Brick really just makes it pop, I feel like, all the more, and it's just one of the most impressive looking sets in my entire collection, and I think it remains the biggest LEGO set in my collection, and probably will forever be the biggest LEGO set I have, period, as I don't really foresee myself buying any of the other huge LEGO sets that have more pieces than this one, and just the building process was really fun, and there's just so many brick built details all throughout the set, and it's literally one of the most highly sought after Star Wars sets of all time. So how could it not be my favorite set? It's definitely unrivaled, I would say. Whenever I think of one set that I would love to keep in my LEGO collection, it always, I feel like, comes back to the UCS Millennium Falcon, and I'm not really sure if any set could ever change that, just because of the memories I have with this set and just how cool it looks on display. And then my number two pick is the Ewok Village from 2013. I bought this last year as a kind of May 4th gift to myself to kind of commemorate the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and it's one of the rarest and most sought after LEGO Star Wars sets out there, and it definitely wasn't very cheap to add to the collection, but I'm very happy I did. I love all of the details surrounding it, like the rope bridge and just all of the greenery, and there's just so much space to display the minifigures that they give you in this set, and there's so many play features, and again, so many minifigures inside of this set too. Lots of exclusive ones, and so many minifigures that are only found in this set, and I just love everything about it. I feel like it's very rare for us to get a very vibrant and kind of colorful and not gray LEGO Star Wars set, and this is definitely, I feel like, the best of those not gray themed Star Wars sets, and it's easily one of my favorites in my LEGO collection, and probably forever will be at the number 2 spot. And coming in at the number 3 spot, I have LEGO Ninjago City Gardens. Growing up, I was a huge LEGO Ninjago fan. I feel like that was the main theme that I really collected, and this set was kind of made to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the LEGO Ninjago sub-theme, or not really sub-theme, but just theme, back in 2021 as it first came out in 2011, and I feel like this set just does so much right. There's so many details. I love the little island off to the side of the gardens, and I feel like every single aspect of this set just has so much detail and thought put into it, and it's also one of my biggest LEGO sets in my entire collection. I think it's at least in the top 5, I want to say, even after all of those UCS Star Wars sets. I think it still has one of the highest piece counts I've got in my entire collection. I love all of the different colors on it too, and I feel like one thing that's really beautiful about this set is no matter where you look at it, even from the back side, there's still just so much going on, to the point where this set really doesn't have any bad angles to it. It looks good regardless of how you display it. I love, again, all of the varying color schemes, the blues, the yellows. I like the cherry blossom trees. There's tons of sticker elements, and also just tons of brick built details too. I feel like every single building that's included inside of this set, which there are definitely a lot of, has its own unique kind of aspects to it that set it apart from the other ones, and I just love all of the Easter eggs that they give to the show too, as this is the big 10th anniversary set for LEGO Ninjago, and it's easily one of my favorites because of that, and definitely better than the markets. And then at my number 4 spot, I've got the newly released Avengers Tower that came out last November, and I was really struggling to pick between the Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle, but ultimately I went with the Avengers Tower just because I feel like it just looks so much more impressive, and it was honestly just more fun of a build to kind of put together as well too. There's so much more detail inside of it as well. The architecture of it is a lot more interesting. I love the kind of curved shape of it, and I really like the blue windows and the Avengers logo that we see on it. The roof design is really impressive, how they're able to kind of get that done. There's a nice hanger off to the side. You get tons of minifigures inside of this set. I think this set to date has the largest amount of minifigures in a single LEGO set, and then you also get the cool Leviathan side build, which isn't that crazy, but still a nice addition to the set. And I love all of the posability that we have on the outside of the tower. We've got Hulk sliding off the windows. You can see you can easily attach some Chitaris to the side of it as well, the multiverse portal. There's just so much going on with this set. There's really not a single part of it where I'm just oh, that's boring, that could have used more detail. The street level details are cool. There's some benches as well as this memorial sticker, which I thought was pretty cool, and there's just so much going on here. I feel like this is the perfect LEGO set. There's very, very few things things I don't like about it. And I just want to say it's like just so tall too. Like literally it almost like towers above the Ewok village when it is literally like 2 shelves probably below that. Like this set is massive and the details are just fantastic inside of it. And then my number 5 pick on the list is the newly, or I guess new to my collection, but it's been out for a couple of years, the UCS AT-AT. And I was really curious to see, I knew this would always be in my top 10, but I was curious to see where it kind of fell with my other sets. And I feel like the recency bias is kind of where it wore off a little bit. It's been a couple weeks since I put it together. I still love it. I like the display plaque that we get with it. And the details in the set really are some of the best that I have seen in a Star Wars set. And it really is massive when you like compare it to a minifigure as to how big the actual set is. Like this is like one of the biggest Lego Star Wars sets, and every inch of the set, I feel like despite it being mostly gray, is just filled with details and really nice building techniques. They use a ton of greebling with it too, and it's just a very impressive model. It honestly rivals the Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle in its height, which is kind of crazy to say that like a Star Wars set is almost as tall as those like literal skyscrapers. And it's just such an impressive looking build too. It really puts the 40th anniversary AT-AT that I had in the collection to shame, as this is just massive. I feel like it really fits in with the other Star Wars UCS sets too. It's like on the same scale kind of as the Millennium Falcon and the Razor Crest, so I'm really happy with where it's at, and I don't really have any complaints with the set either. The building process was a bit on the less fun side, but still cool. And at the number 6 spot, I have the UCS Venator, and I feel like this set has definitely grown on me a lot more recently. I don't have it in the best display spot where you're able to like kind of admire all of the details, but I feel like when I've looked at it up close and been able to like better see those, I've really found a higher appreciation for it. I love the minifigures included and the printed display plaque, and I feel like just the side details and the greebling is just one of the best parts of this set. And I remember having a lot of fun putting it together too. It was very satisfying to put together. It wasn't too frustrating at all. I feel like the AT-AT and the Falcon were a bit frustrating to put together, but the Venator was a nice break from that. It was very simple to put together. I didn't really like the kind of excessive amount of stickers for the set, but that's just like a nitpick. And I feel like this is just one of the biggest and one of the most impressive Lego Star Wars UCS sets out there. I am very happy that I decided to get this over the Imperial Star Destroyer, as I feel like this is just the way better set in my opinion, and it's easily one of the best Star Wars sets I feel like ever released. Like it's very easy to see why so many fans pick this as their number 1 UCS set. It would be mine, but I just don't have that much nostalgia for it. And then at the number 7 spot, I have the Daily Bugle, which it's hard to believe this came out 3 years ago, but for the longest time this was my favorite Lego set in my collection. But as the years have kind of gone by, Lego has just released so many more Lego sets that have just like kind of dethroned it. But this was kind of like the original Lego Marvel skyscraper before the Avengers Tower, and there's a lot of cool details on the outside. I love the sticker pieces that they have for like kind of the TV screens and the Jumbotron. I like all of the details on the exterior. Even if they are a bit repetitive to build, they still look cool. One of my favorites is the Green Goblin kind of bursting out of the window, and then there's some details on the top of it. I like the brick-built Daily Bugle signage, and then we've also got this nice satellite, and you can kind of see how high this one is too, as it literally kind of towers over the shelf of my modulars. And a simple detail, but one I really like, is the fire escape. I don't know why, I just like really appreciate those details too, and it's just a really fun looking build. It was not the best thing to put together because the windows do get a bit repetitive, but it looks really good on display and definitely captures your eye, I would say. So very solid set in my opinion, and easily will probably forever remain in my top 10 favorite Lego sets of all time. It'll be very hard to knock this one off the list. But anyway, moving on to my number 8 pick, it is the UCS Razor Crest, which, as many of you know, was very much an impulse buy just because they had such a good sale on this set that like I kind of couldn't pass it up. I think I got it with my VIP points for like $350, and it normally goes for like $600 or something like that. So very good deal on this. I was happy to have it in the collection. It's got a nice minifigure selection and a display plaque, and the brick built details on this set are just so nice to look at. I feel like there's stickers in this set, but like they still have those brick built details, like you can see with the yellow tiles in here. And I feel like this was definitely the funnest Lego UCS set I ever put together. The building experience is unmatched. I love the details with kind of like the turbine engine things on the side. Those look really nice. I love all the roller blades that they use to detail it, and this set is just massive. And despite being mostly gray, I feel like just with the amount of greebling that they put into this set, it still looks really good. And I feel like this is one of the more more overlooked LEGO Star Wars UCS sets. It's very much underrated, I would say, and if they ever do another sale on it, I would highly recommend picking it up, as it is one of my favorite Star Wars sets to this day. It features a fully detailed interior that I won't really go into too much detail with, but this does have the best interior, in my opinion, out of any LEGO Star Wars UCS. I feel like most people would agree with that, and it definitely deserves a spot alongside the other kind of like larger scale UCS LEGO Star Wars sets, and I feel like it gets overlooked a lot, which isn't really fair to this set, as it definitely is one of my favorites. But at the number 9 spot, we have the LEGO Star Wars Mos Eisley Cantina. I think this set retires at the end of the year, but it originally came out in 2020, and I picked it up, I think, 2022 over spring break, and this is the only, or actually one of 2 Master Builder series sets that I have in my collection for the Star Wars theme, and it's definitely not my favorite. I like the Ewok Village more, but the Cantina also has a lot of cool details. It features a full interior, which I won't go into too much detail of, but I really like how the exterior looks. I'm very happy with it. It's very much like one of those UCS sets that I feel like is a must-have, in my opinion, because it's very rare that we get like the structure-based LEGO Star Wars sets, and I really like how they have the outskirts too, just like these random buildings in Tatooine too. I thought that was really cool. Like getting the Jawa shop was a really cool detail. We get the speeders included as well, and the minifigure selection in this set is probably one of my favorites out of any Star Wars set, period. You just get so many unique minifigures and also so many exclusive minifigures too. I can only imagine how expensive those will actually get once this set retires, but like just looking past that, this is just a fun set to look at, and I feel like this is one that will always grab your attention, and one that I definitely do not regret buying, and I feel like I'll always hold a special place in my heart for this set. It's definitely one of my favorite Star Wars sets ever released, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. And then the final pick on this list is the Lion Knight's Castle. This was a set I didn't really see myself buying, but I made the space for it, and I'm very happy that I did decide to get it, and this is easily one of the funnest LEGO sets to put together. I feel like if you ask anybody who owns this set about the building experience, they'll probably say that it is like one of the most unique and one of the most fun and well put together LEGO sets out there, and I had a blast putting this together. There's just so much detail on the exterior. I love all the flags and all the building techniques they use for the windows. There's just so much variety here. You get these really cool cloth kind of like flag pieces too, and I also really like the kind of like house structure. I'm not a big castle fan, so I'm probably butchering the names on these, but I love all the variety in the buildings included. The exterior also has some nice like greenery and some nice brick-built rock terrain, and then you can see like there's like little market stalls inside, more vines, and you can see like there's like little parts of the castle that stick out, like little windows and like roof tiled areas. Like there's just so much depth to this set, and just towards the front here it looks really impressive. I love the printed shield elements that they have, as well as the masonry bricks, and they use really interesting building techniques to kind of get those like super kind of like thin and slim windows inside of there. There's tons of play features. There's even like some trees on the exterior. You can see the printed Lion Knight flag too, which I thought was really nice, and there's just so much going on with this set. So much love was put into like the building process of this set that I feel like it would be wrong not to include this on the list, and I feel like it being at the number 10 spot just speaks to how good the sets above it are, and it's really hard to kind of like rank all of the sets in my LEGO collection like this, because each one has like their own kind of like sentimental value to me and stuff, and like every single one is just so good in its own right that it really is kind of frustrating to rank through all of them. But the Lion Knight's Castle is definitely deserving of the number 10 spot. I bet you a lot of you would probably place it a bit higher, and honestly if I redid the list I probably would too, but this was just kind of off the top of my head, like top 10 LEGO sets, here we go. I didn't want to put too much thought into it, because like I feel like for this list to truly be like accurate, it just had to be, okay, what are my favorite LEGO sets, and then immediately list them, because like I feel like the more you think about it, the more the list changes, and it just doesn't really feel like your favorite LEGO sets at that point, because then you're just considering too many things. And there are a lot of sets that I didn't get to include, like the modular buildings, which is probably one of my favorite set lineups of all time, but not a single one made this list. They almost did. And then there's also like those other sets, like the T2 camper van and the Beatles set that I really love in my collection, but just couldn't include. There's the unique ones like the Haunted House and the Stranger Things Upside Down. And then I've also got like the Nintendo sets, like the Bowser set and the NES are some of my favorites. There's the question mark block, but like just because of how many sets I have in the collection, just so many good ones just didn't make the list. And it wanted me to do an honorable mentions, But, like, if I included that, I feel like the video would be twice as long, and I feel like nobody wants to watch a 30-minute video. So, yeah, not a single superhero set on the list, but, like, I love LEGO superheroes, so, like, it's really hard to rank these at the end of the day, but definitely let me know what you thought of the video. Do you agree or disagree with my list? What are your favorite sets from my LEGO collection? What are your favorite sets from your LEGO collection? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, but that is all for today. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next one. Peace out.